Howdy guys, and welcome to another Warlord Wednesday, and today we're going to be doing a canopy to fit over the Opel truck. So we need a knife, we need a rolling pin. Steal it from the kitchen, don't let anybody see you doing it. We need some water because we need to keep our green stuff wet. And obviously we need some green stuff. Now I have plenty of green stuff, as well you can see. Now the idea is we're going to create a canopy to sit over the ribbing of this open back Opel truck. Now it's not going to be easy, it's a difficult task, it's very fiddly, but the way we're going to do it today is we're going to create something that does the job. Now if you remember the solid backing to the last model that I showed you of the Opel, it is absolutely wonderfully sculpted, so we're going to try and replicate that as best as possible, but so we can see the inside of the truck. Now you can do this many ways. You can actually fold it back and do how you want it. So here's our green stuff. Cut yourself a nice length. You probably don't need as much as that, but make sure you get it in some water. And then what we want to do is we just want to squeeze it all together. See how I'm doing it professionally by folding it over and over. You don't have to do it like that. I just do that because it's a bit like a hand model demonstrating the latest appliance. Look, you can twist it. Not bad, eh? So the idea is to squish it all up till it's nice and green, and make sure you keep it wet, because the last thing you want to do is it stick into your fingers. Now give it a good stretch, spread it out, get it in water. There you go, move that to the side, chuck some water on the floor, and now we're going to roll it out. Now this is what the rolling pin's for, but you can use anything that's round plastic tubing. Just make sure it's wet and it's smooth as well, because the last thing you want to do is create a pattern or imprints all over it. Because your fingers are going to do that later, unfortunately, as you will see with my giant banana hands. Okay, so give it a good roll out. We want to get it quite thin, but not too thin that it's just going to be difficult to use. We want to do it so it's got a little bit of stiffness to it, and there's some play to it, and there's a little bit of thickness to it, but not too much, because the last thing we want is it being too thick to manipulate. That's a good word, manipulate. Okay, let's go for it. A bit more water. Go on, sprinkle it on there. No? Okay. So here's our truck. I've spread it out to as much as I possibly can. It's thinned out to how I want it. Now I'm just going to cut it up into a rectangle. Now the idea is, if you can just judge this yourself, you always want to oversize it if you can, because you can always trim it away. Never, if you can try not to trim it too small, make it too small, you can. The nice thing about it being oversized is you can just trim it away. Look at that. See? Perfect. Now we're going to gently set it over the top of the ribbing. Now make sure you keep it flush on one side to the resin base, so to speak, or the resin sides, and then just let it flop over the top. Now already you can see, because green stuff's quite heavy, it's already starting to form around the ribbing, and this is what we want, and we want to keep our fingers off the top as much as possible. You're going to get some fingerprints in this. You can wear gloves if you want, but you tend to find that it sticks, so always make sure that it's wet, because that's what you want to do. Now you can trim here and just take away the bits, but do remember it's quite malleable at the moment, so it will stretch. So once you've got it on there, you're happy. You want to fold back the top like I've done there, because we're now going to add the front part to the canopy that sits over the top of the ribbing. Again, measure it out, just size it first just to make sure. Look at that, this guy's so professional. Well, not really, but there he goes. God, look at that. How he cuts things with those giant fingers, God only knows. There we go. So we just cut that away, just get rid of the excess, and what we do is we just roll it over the top of the first ribbing like so. And as you can see in a second, it's going to look kind of nice. So we just fold it. It's like making a pie, where you have to fold the pastry and stuff like that. It's actually really good. I'm getting hungry now just looking at this. Okay, so there we go. That's looking kind of smooth. We just need it to sit over the top, and then we just roll back the top canopy. Just give it a little bit of a stretch, not too much, because obviously we don't want it looking too naff. There you go. There we go. We have a nice sort of edging to it. And then we just fold it over. Now you're going to find yourself having a little bit too much excess, but just make sure you've got a very sharp knife. Always change the blade if you need to, and remember, keep it wet as well. So there we go. Now I've got my finger in the inside, and I'm just pushing it out so it doesn't hang too into the inside of the canopy, and I'm just trimming it here and there. Now we're going to make the back doors. So again, it's just judge the size. This is a really quick process. Literally, this didn't take me too long to do. I mean, it must have taken about 10 minutes once I got everything rolled out and cut. And again, roll the back of the ribbing, back of the canopy over the top of the back ribbing, just so you can reveal it, and then just hang over the top. Just give yourself a little bit of excess over the back, like so, and just pinch the sides together. You can see what I've done there. I've just let it fold over the top, so I've got like a couple of mil just hanging over the back of the ribbing, and I'm just squeezing that down with my finger. It's really difficult to do when you've got giant fingers. There you go. You can see better. You can see it better there. And again, you do the same with the other piece. If I can just get it to go out, there we go. That's my hand. Unfortunately, you can't see what's going on, but there's magic happening behind there. But I say that. Here we go. While you can't see what's happening, I could sing for you, or put a funny picture up. I don't know. One of the two. Anyway, there you go. Look, so now we're just going to squeeze that down. So this is what we've got so far. So it's looking kind of cool. Now, with the back of the canopy, you can fold it open or have it hanging down. It's up to you. I folded it back because I'm going to be putting stuff in the back of this. But it's that easy. I've got to say, it's that easy. All we have to do now is put the window flaps in. Now, if you notice on the Opel, it has these little square flaps that go on the side. So we just need to put those in now. So stretch out what you've got. If you want to get the rolling pin back out again, make sure you wet it down. Just give it a little bit of a roll, as I did there, and then you can start cutting the pieces up. It doesn't take too long to do. This is quite simple. Now, they're little small square pieces, so I've always you would look at the box and just judge it yourself. I tend to do things very freehand when it comes to green stuff because it's just easier to manipulate and use. But just sort of trim up the edges as much as possible. Now you're going to find it stretches a little bit because it's so thin, but I think it just adds to it. And there we go. That's the finished product. So it's that simple. Anyone can do this. If I can, you guys can. So listen, thanks for watching. I'm going to see you very soon where we paint this bad boy up.